Today I want to share with you 3 investing habits that will absolutely change the course of your financial future for the better. How's it going, guys? Ryan here and welcome back to another wealth management video, and today I'm sharing with you 3 investing habits that will absolutely change the financial path you are on forever if you understand and adopt these investing concepts. But before we get into this, guys, please remember to give the video a thumbs up. It helps me out so much with the YouTube algorithm, and subscribe for more investing, wealth management, crypto and stock market content. And I'd love to know your thoughts on some of the habits we discuss in today's video in the comments section below. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. Now, before I share these habits with you guys, I want to make a clear point that implementing these habits in your life is going to be able to kick off the change in your life. Now, if you're already advanced, this is probably not the video for you, but this is rather for the beginners who are just starting their financial journey and trying to achieve not only financial stability but also financial prosperity. So if you fit this mold, then these 3 habits are definitely for you to adopt. So the first financial habit that you must adopt is the 50-30-20 rule, and this is a budgeting rule which has been popularized by Elizabeth Warren, and effectively what it does is splits your finances up into 3 categories. So the 50 is for all your needs. So 50% of your income goes to those things that are necessities that you need in your life to survive. So for example, groceries would be classed as that. Your rent, for instance, would be classed as that. These things that you need to be able to pay every single day, month, week, whatever that may be, 50% of your income should be going to this. This is obviously your main priority, and in order to survive, you need to pay these things. Now, the 30% is your wants, and basically this is things that you don't necessarily need, but 30% of your income can be allocated to that. So you might want to go for dinner with friends at a restaurant. You might be able to, buy a latest computer game. You might want to buy some car parts for your car, but not necessarily things that you need. They are wants and things that are your own choice. The final 20% of your income is then allocated to investments, whether this be furthering your education, whether it be buying books, whether it be signing up to courses, that sort of thing, whether it be paying off your mortgage, whether it be paying off personal loans, buying into investments, whether it be, the stock market, whether it be cryptocurrencies, whether it be real estate. That 20% is going towards your financial future. Now, I like to put a twist on the 50-30-20 rule. I suggest that if you're really keen to accelerate your financial prosperity, then swap the 30 and the 20 around. Swap the number you allocate to your wants and the number you allocate to your investments. So start allocating 30% to your investments and start allocating 20% to your wants. That way, what you're doing is increasing the amount of money that you are funding into your investments by 50%, effectively allowing you to facilitate your growth significantly faster in this financial prosperity aspect. You only need to understand the fact that if you put $10 into a stock versus putting $15 into a stock, if that stock doubles, you're obviously going to make more money, for instance, if you've invested more money into it. So effectively what you're doing is allocating more funds because you're really serious about achieving a financial future which is one of freedom, as opposed to one of just, you have that desire to do well potentially in the future and retire by 60 and be comfortable. If you really want to accelerate your game, that is what you need to do. Furthermore, as a modification as well to this rule, it is clear that people who are obviously studying, or if they're on the minimum wage or they're not earning too much of an income, 50% of your income may not cover all those needs and expenses. So as a result, you may be looking at more like 60%, for instance, in order to cover those needs. I'd highly suggest then what you do is, once again, take the wants out. Reduce the wants as much as possible. Obviously, you do need some room for respite. You do need room to, socialize with your friends, but you might be able to take out 10% of your wants and allocate it then back to the needs which are required. And you may have a 60-20-20 split. You may have a 60-30, 10% wants split. However you do it, it's understandable that not all situations can only allocate 50% to their needs. Sometimes it's potentially more. And one thing you'll learn is, as you progress in your financial journey, you'll be able to reduce that number for the needs. So your total income may only require 30% of it to be allocated to your needs. That's when you can start rewarding yourself. You can put a bit more into the wants, or even better, put a lot more into the investments, and once again, accelerate your growth, accelerate your trajectory in order to become financially successful. Financial habit number 2, understanding the difference between active income and passive income, and making sure that you are consistently implementing techniques or injecting funds into your passive income generating streams. So what is active income and what is passive income for starters? Well, active income is basically where you quite literally work for something. So you go to your 9-to-5 job, every hour you're there, you are being paid. Passive income, on the other hand, does not require you to be physically doing everything all the time. A fantastic example of that is dividend paying stocks. You just need to be invested in the stock for that company to be paying you a dividend. Another example of this would be real estate. You have tenants that exist in the house. It's managed by your property manager, and they pay you rent every single week. And effectively what that passive income is money that is generating with little to no effort for you to be involved. Obviously you want some element of involvement, you want oversight to understand, but it does not require vast amounts of effort in order to generate that money. It is effectively self-fulfilling and will be generating itself. The habit you want to implement here is take some of your active income and put it into your passive income generating streams. And effectively the goal here is to start growing that passive income so it can start to replace that active income. In doing so, that means you'll get to a point at some stage where you can just eliminate the active income stream if you want to, and it all comes down to the choice. But consistently put time and effort into those passive income streams. They're the ones that are going to pay off dividends in the future, and effectively they are the ones which are going to make you financially free. One key concept to understand here is you can have multiple streams of passive incomes running concurrently with little effort at all once you've put in the hard yards at the start, and then it is up and running. So for instance, once again, a stock portfolio full of dividend stocks which are consistently paying you an income every quarter, every half year, whatever it may be. Every time that stock pays dividends, or your stock portfolio may have multiple stocks pay dividends, they are paying for themselves. Then once again, re-inject that money you've earned from those dividends back into those passive income streams, and it basically becomes a self-fulfilling workflow. Financial habit number 3, set a long-term goal and work backwards. So the first thing you want to do is go, okay, where do I want to be in 10 years from now, for instance? It's all well and good to be able to put in place strategies to, make a different amount of money every single day, or streams of income and that sort of stuff. But if you don't know your end goal, then you don't know the steps that you need to take in order to get there, and as a result, you're not going to hit your targets if you don't work backwards. So, for example, your long-term target may be to replace your $100,000 per year income stream. So, what do you need to do that? Well, you need to work backwards and work out the amount of money you'd need to generate passively every single day in order to replace that active income stream. So that touches back to the last habit we were talking about. How much money do I need to put into the stocks, for instance, for the dividends to generate at, 4%, 5% per annum, enough money for me to be able to replace that $100,000 income. And in setting that long-term goal and working backwards and setting smaller and smaller and smaller targets, what you do is then make them achievable. And it's clear if you're achieving your goal progression or not. You're able to work backwards and basically tick off those small little steps in order to achieve that long-term goal, whether that be in a year's time, whether it be in 5 years time, 10 years time, whatever it may be. Working backwards to your long-term goals is a fantastic habit to implement, and basically you want to be checking up on these habits consistently. And that wraps up today's video, guys. I'd love to know your thoughts on those 3 habits that I've spoken about today. For me, they have been absolutely fantastic and life-changing habits that I have personally implemented in my own financial budgets, in my own financial goals, in my overall strategy in order to achieve the financial freedom that I want down the track. Make sure you have that long-term goal in mind so you know how to work back to it. Please remember to give this video a thumbs up if you did enjoy it. I'd appreciate it so much. And if you want to see more of this type of content, hit that subscribe button. We do investing, stock market, wealth management, and cryptocurrency style content. And with that, guys, I hope you have an awesome day. I'll see you next time. Cheers.